Pasture, the most valuable crop we produce, is the raw material of the state's primary industries. Native pastures produce only about a quarter of the animal food that introduced pastures yield. New Zealand is a principal source of seed, but there's no reason why Tasmania should not produce more seed itself. The Tasmanian Department of Agriculture carries out strain selection trials with different species of grasses and clovers at the Cressy Research Farm. Here are developed superior strains better adapted to local climatic conditions and soils. Before artificial selection, the lines of plants generally contain a mixture of good and poor plants. A useful strain is often developed from a line in which good types predominate. A seed certification scheme is operated by the Department of Agriculture. Certified seed carries official seals and labels. When a pasture is to be established, the seed bed must be prepared and sown at the right time with the correct seed and fertilizers. The land should be drained and free of weeds, and the soil should be prepared during the 6 months before sowing. A fine but firmly packed seed bed is best, but local conditions affect the way in which the work is done. Note the small ridges and the well-packed soil. Certified seed producers must register each area with the department at sowing time unless it's white clover. 5 acres is the smallest area which may be registered. No uncertified strain of grass seed or different type of the same grass may be allowed to flower within 5 chains of an area submitted for registration. In this case, cross-fertilization could occur and result in a mixture containing many low-value plants. Give the District Agricultural Officer a few weeks' notice of your intention to begin sowing so that he can inspect the paddock to be sure it's free from noxious weeds and isolated from plants with which crossing might occur. Paddocks infested with onion twitch or other noxious weeds are not satisfactory seed areas. Before sowing, the inspecting officer will remove the seals from the bags and collect the necessary information for registration. If you intend harvesting subclover seed next season, you must notify the department before the end of July. You are given until September the 31st in the case of grass seed. An inspection of the growing crop by the DAO discloses the presence of any foreign varieties. You'll also be looking for any noxious weeds which, if present, may be harvested with the seed. Hormone preparations such as 2,4-D or MCPA kills weeds such as thistles, capeweed or wild turnip. Inform the DAO at least 7 days before you intend to begin the harvest. You will then be able to seal your bags of seed in the paddock. This ensures that uncertified seed is not included in the sample forwarded to the cleaner. On its arrival at the cleaning depot, the certification officer checks the count of bags and the brands, inspects the seals and removes them so that the bags can be opened. Certified seed must be completely free from noxious weeds. Samples are sent to the laboratory where they're analysed for impurities and tested for germination. At the laboratory, analysts determine whether samples comply with required standards. Every seed and each piece of impurity is classified. All weed seeds and others are recorded. Then comes the germination test. The seeds are germinated on moist filter paper. The electrically heated germinator maintains a constant temperature. Inside, the germination beds are kept uniformly moist. After 12 days, all seeds capable of germination are well sprouted. A good line of ryegrass should have a germination of 90% or over. If the completed analysis complies with the standards set by the Seed Act, a certificate is issued. A superior pasture plant must be highly productive and must be adapted to the purpose the farmer has in mind. For permanent pasture, the species must have a truly perennial habit. Laboratory tests eliminate short-lived strains, particularly in perennial ryegrass. If the seeds are of a short-lived type, a strong luminous pattern is seen under the screened rays from a special lamp where the roots of young seedlings are in contact with the filter paper. Seed lines with more than 5% of these short-lived types are not up to the standard required for certification. The test for white clover depends on a colour reaction. Young seedlings are placed in a test tube. They're bruised to liberate the colour-producing substance and incubated with a strip of filter paper soaked in picric acid. If the clover seed is a good strain, the paper strip is coloured a deep shade of orange. Seeds which have passed the purity, germination and special strain tests are certified. This is the purchaser's guarantee that he is receiving officially certified seed on which he can depend. Many of our farms have suitable soils and climates to grow our own seed. Red clover, commonly known as cowgrass, is often prolific in our basaltic soils, particularly from the second cut in drier summers when the seed sets more evenly. In the Deloraine area, 1 tonne of seed was direct-headed from 7 acres, while in the Scottsdale and Gawler districts, yields of up to 500 pounds per acre have been recorded from stationary threshing plants. Pasture seeds have commanded high prices in recent years and crops have been heavy. At Cressy, yields of 44 and 38 bushels to the acre of H1 short rotation ryegrass seed were obtained in 2 succeeding years. In 2 years, yields of 37 and 26 bushels per acre of clean seed were recorded at Northdown. Perennial or English ryegrass does not give such high yields, but in previous years, Branksome, Cressy, Longford and Deloraine have recorded yields of about 25 bushels of cleaned seed per acre. These encouraging figures assure profitable return for growers prepared to cater for the seed industry. and the standard set by the Department of Agriculture is a guarantee of quality for those intending to sow pasture with Tasmanian certified seed.